Hello, everyone. Welcome to Black Link Magazine. I am Marva Brown Thomas. I am the CEO and founder of Black Link Magazine. And I'm so excited to have Miss Carrie back with us again. Yay.
Yes, hey.
Carrie, how are you doing? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Just excited to have you here and catch up with you again to see what's going on with you lately. And also, just an honor to have you as our cover for our May launch that we're going to launch. And I am so excited because we're going to be celebrating our Black. And I had to have you. Had to have
Thank
you.
you so much. I'm so excited and I really appreciate it.
So, just for the people that do not know, tell them who you are and what you do because you wear a lot of hats.
I do. Well, what's up, y'all? My name is Carrie Bernans. I'm an actress. I'm also a stunt woman and a filmmaker, former pro athlete, and I do a lot of things. I am a daughter. I have a niece. I'm an auntie. I can cook. Okay. Um, yeah. So I'm a multifaceted. I speak 6 languages. I love to travel, and I'm excited about just bringing more change to the world and doing my part, being used as a vessel here to
Yeah.
serve the greater good.
That's amazing. I love what you do and I love everything that you stand for. Like who could not stand to be around you? So I just every time I see you or we're together here on the interviews or whatever, it's just a pleasure. And so thank you. So you guys, Carrie was she played a part in Black Panther. And so go ahead and tell them how that was in your experience doing that.
Absolutely. I was one of the Dora Milaje warriors in Black Panther. I was absolutely honored and so thankful to be able to play a part of this big Marvel universe, but even a bigger part of like the Black community and how they see themselves on screen. Especially being one of the Dora Milaje warriors, we had to shave our head bald, which I used to have 60 inches of hair. And it was not only a transformation for me as well as the audience that viewed the movie, but it just like I feel like transformed the whole world of how they saw the Black dollar spin, how they saw the investment in making Black films, how I even saw myself in the world with my transformation of saying that I'm beautiful with or without hair, and just all of that, questioning stereotypes and seeing beautiful Black bold warrior women leading the force, leading a country, leaving this pretend yet real Wakanda land. So it's such an honor, and I'm blessed to have worked with them.
Yeah, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Like it was just the timing was right. Just everything about that movie was the right thing. The people, the lead, the play, everything about it was just right. And so I'm excited for you to have been able to be a part of that. And so I'm hearing that a part two is getting ready to launch. Are you going to be a part of that, or can you talk about that?
I can't talk about it. Yeah, I can't really talk about it, but it is absolutely they're gonna start filming Black Panther 2, I believe, this summer.
Oh, good. And everybody's just like, hurry up, let us see what's next, what's next. So,
Yeah.
so we're excited. We that's something for us to be able to look forward to as well.
Wow, women helping other women learn, grow, and empower. Join WOW now. Why not?
When we were together previously, you had gone on an audition. And so tell me what's new in your world. What do you have going on today?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I audition 24/7. I feel like I literally auditioning is like another full-time job, which I'm grateful for. And then when the role lands, then that becomes a full-time job replaced from those auditions. But I think since the last time we spoke, I definitely booked a few additional roles. I know I found out I booked a role that I'm going to New Orleans like in a couple weeks, which is really cool. So
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that to get back to the South.
Yes.
Yes, and oh my God, I worked on a documentary I filmed in December,
Uh-huh.
and I'm so excited because my baby, I call it my film, my baby, is making it into film festivals. So far we've made it into 7 of them, and yeah, we're well on the way, and I'm so grateful and so excited and just like so honored, I guess to say the least. I think the biggest thing for me is I love auditioning and I love booking roles, but you might book one out of every 40 auditions you do, or one out of every 100 or 200, just depends on the ratio. But to actually make a project of your own and see the labor of it come out and to really support it and to be like, oh my God, I did that. And
Yes.
is empowering and it's great. And I just suggest anyone that has a dream to just go out there and get it. If you want to make content, you want to make a project, you have an idea for an invention, make a prototype and look at it. You created something, regardless of what happens after that. You
Right.
got that thing.
Tell me about SEAL Team, or can you talk about that?
Oh yeah, I was on SEAL Team back in about 3 years ago, which that was an incredible opportunity. And I actually got the opportunity because of a stunt coordinator referring me to the casting director when she was in a meeting with them, and they were looking for an actress that was comfortable around stunts. And that happened to be me because I do the best of both worlds. And I remember that audition like it was yesterday because I got a call from her. She says, I need an African woman. I do African accents. And I'm also West African too.
Oh, wow.
And she says you lost your baby in war. Send me a tape right now. I don't have sides. Just go. And I was like, okay. So I remember I was at my friend's house in Hollywood. I ran to Goodwill, grabbed some sheets. I said I was going to go all out. I went to 7-Eleven, got some coffee beans, got some Vaseline. Now, I don't always do this on every audition, bring it all the way to life. But for some reason, I heard the way she did it, and I interpreted and I went with my gut. Right. And I literally made myself as if I was in a war, dirty, in Africa. I made a tie on my head, and I can send you the audition if you want to put it in the interview.
If you don't mind.
Yeah, and I made a baby out of some of the leftover sheets. And I got in the corner and I started hearing war noises and imagining, and my baby was dying because of the war. And I sent the audition in and I booked it probably an hour or two later. Everybody was like so led and so moved. And I remember going on set and filming that. And they gave me a real boy, and he was my baby, Yeah. And he was about, I think, like 2 or 3. Aww. He was so cute, so sweet. And his mom and the team, they told him like he has to play like he's asleep, and we're around fire, like big fire. And I'm like, so he's like playing sleep on one scene. And then the second scene, they call action. And I'm holding my arm, my baby's crying, And then I look down and I see his eyes peeking up so I had to cover his eyes. My baby, like trying not to laugh because he's almost about to laugh. And I'm like, oh my God, But it's hilarious.
I saw a piece of it and I was like, oh my God, we didn't get to talk about that the last time we were together. But it was really good. Like what I did get to see was just really fast. But what I saw was like, wow, you're just well-rounded. You can do anything.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I believe we can, the only person that can limit us is ourselves.
I think so.
Welcome to Black Link Magazine, the right magazine for the right purpose, where we aim to elevate your business to the next level through interviews, advertisements, and features in the magazine. Visit us today, www.blacklinkmag.com.
Yeah, go ahead and give some encouragement, especially these days. We're just living in a time of where everybody could just use some uplifting, and people still have dreams inside of them, right?
Absolutely. What I would say is that if you have breath in your lungs and you can breathe right now, you need to be thankful and to act on it. If you got blood flowing through your veins, you need to act on it. If you can feel your fingertips, you need to act on it. If you don't have fingertips, maybe you can feel your feet, act on it. Maybe you can feel your head go left or right. If you got a heartbeat, that means you have purpose on this earth. That means you were meant to do something here that only you can do. I don't care. There's 100 other people that might be doctors, but the type of person that you're going to save needs you. So get up. Don't sit there like you're a little potato on a couch, and get to work. But even potatoes got a purpose. They make French fries. They make mashed potatoes. They make a whole lot of things. You get my point? So the whole thing, if the potato just sits there and rots, then it has no purpose. It serves no value. We all have value on this earth. We are all used as a vessel in some way, somehow. And regardless if you do nothing or you do something at all, you're still doing something. there's lives being lost because you're not acting on the vision that God has given you.
That's right.
And I don't want to put that type of pressure on you, but I'm just saying there's something special inside of you that you
Hey,
need to work that nobody else has. Tap into that one day or day one. Don't say you don't have the resources. You might not have it. Work with what you got right now. How can you hustle? How can you make it work? You know, you got $1, stretch $1, make 10 into 20, make 20 into 100. You can do it.
yeah.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And where there's a you, there's a way.
That's right.
Yeah.
I ditto. I believe it. And I hope that people can be motivated by that. You're right. You know, even the Bible talks about we need to serve others. If you're going out and just serving somebody else, that's where you get your greatest blessings, is when you're serving.
Yes.
Let's talk about your nonprofit that you have. How's that going?
It's going so good. Oh my God. I'm so grateful. I think like that was one of the best things that I've ever done, from like just me, myself. But it wasn't even for me. It was for me to give back and help the kids in many ways, you know, and I self-funded my nonprofit, especially at this first like year and a half. And I'm going into 3 years now, and we're finally like getting some grants and stuff, being able to do more projects. And I'm so grateful. But we have we're going into our 3rd year. We have a summer camp coming up this summer for entrepreneurship as financial literacy focus. Is for kids that are on or below the poverty line. We also have a literacy camp coming up in order to help fill the gaps between the school year and with the COVID situations, providing resources of education for the kids, and so much more. We have our back to school drive where we're doing essentials like underwear and socks, because I feel like that's stuff that's usually left out. People give the backpacks away, they give the coats away, but what about the kids' underwear and socks, you know? And we're doing some stuff with the homeless initiative. We're always giving back to our homeless people, helping to feed and clothe them, but also provide like mobile dental services and healthcare checkups and stuff like that. So we have so much stuff in the works, and I'm so excited and thankful. And I'm happy that I'm not doing this alone. I do have my Vice President, Belinda Campbell, that's with me. And I also have like a community of amazing friends that's willing to like support me in this. Like one of them is Candace Renee Rice. And I love Candace. Me and her did our back to school not back to school, our Christmas give back. So yeah.
That's amazing, amazing. I'm so happy for you. And you know, we have to remember our children, because after all, they are the future. And then what I commend you for is you're so young and you have all of this going on and you have all these auditions and you got all this, but you still find time to give back. It's not about, it's almost like what I see in you is it's not about you and what you got going on. You always putting somebody before you and trying to help people's needs. And you know what? God blesses you tenfold for that. And so keep doing that. Keep being who you are and doing that. So I said earlier you wear several hats. So you are an actress, an influencer, you are a pro athlete, you are what else do you do? And tell us how you're connected with Marvel Studios with the stunts and all of that, if that's part of Marvel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm multifaceted. I think that one of the things early on in my childhood is that I loved every subject in school. It wasn't one subject I liked more in particular than others. I love math just as much as I loved history, just as much as I loved science, as I loved PE, etc. And I also played every sport in the book. So, you know, I think like moving into like where I'm at now with this like very multi-dimensional career, it's something that I think just followed me my entire life. And thankfully, God has given me the ability to be able to balance it. And I also don't do it alone. I have other people that support my vision, such as like my team. I have an amazing team of agents, my managers. I have amazing other people that I rely on to help me as well in order to move the vision forward. But with the stunts and acting stuff and how Marvel plays an effect of that, well, stunts in general, I do stunts on multiple TV shows, as well as films, as well as video games and all of that. Yeah. So it's not just Marvel, but I have had an opportunity to be on, I think, 4 or 5 Marvel projects doing stunts and acting. And I'm extremely grateful to do that. It was X-Men, I did mostly just stunts, but then the rest of the sets I did both. I was more of an action actress doing my stunts and acting and portraying a character, which was always a pleasure. And it's cool. Hey, you get the bang for your money because you're out there doing your action and portraying a character. And honestly, it's my dream job.
Yeah. So growing up, okay, it's just like you were special, like you kind of already knew at 12, that you were wanting to do things. You had an entrepreneurial mind at 12 years old, right? So when did you know, at what point you was like, hey, Carrie, I think you made it. I think you're doing this. Or do you feel like you still have a long way to go? Which one?
That's a really great question. I feel like there's moments in my life that I made it to a new level, but this is not where I'm stopping. Like my goal and my vision is so big that it's going to take a lot to get there. But I do recognize and I celebrate every level I have achieved, and to like beat poverty and to beat that I wasn't a teenage mom like my mother, not in a bad way,
Right.
in a way of saying like I honored her enough to say I wasn't going to go down that route because she made a better way for us as we got older.
Right.
And I think that even graduating college, and all these things that I've done, I've achieved so many great successes and I celebrate them, but I know I've not made it in the sense of me feeling like I made it.
Right.
Now, some people might be like, but you did this, 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 this. And I said, that's wonderful and it's great. And I appreciate all of that. But this is not where I'm stopping.
Right.
Like,
There's levels to this thing. Yeah.
exactly. And the goal is way, way bigger than Carrie. It's bigger than what I have. It's bigger than the exposure I currently have and the money I have. Type things I want to do. I got to have a whole lot of money in order to impact a whole lot of people, in order to make a whole big, great deal of change. But where I'm at, I can change what I can with what I have.
You got to do what you can do with what you have. That's right. And be grateful for that. Again, I don't mean to be all churchy with you, but he said, just be grateful. Show me that you're grateful for the things that you have now so that I can bless you with more. And so I appreciate you. I just appreciate you. So I want to switch the tone just a little bit. They just got the verdict in on the George Floyd case, got a guilty on that. What are your thoughts around that? And what is your feeling about, this systemic racism and all the racism that still occurs, and where do you stand on that? What are your thoughts around that, if you don't mind talking about that?
Yeah, absolutely. What I would say about the George Floyd case is like, first off, thank you, God. I am so happy that the verdict was guilty. Like it should have been guilty on all 3 counts, but of course you got to see it for yourself. I would say like my heart is overwhelmingly just thankful. I was so emotional when I heard it. I still feel a bit of like heavy emotion now. And it's been challenging. I feel like being Black in America, and I feel like the men have it harder than the women,
Yeah. Yes.
Like, so to me, like, I feel like we feel it and we see it and we know it exists, but I think I've known it existed for so long since I was a child that it doesn't feel abnormal, but lately it's been heavy. Seeing more has been heavy. So to answer your question, I am extremely grateful and thankful to see this verdict. The fight is not over. The verdict does not take or give back in a life that was lost in the arms of police, but it does bring us some peace, and it brings us some type of assurance that change is going to happen. And what I can say is that I believe that things are going to gradually change. I don't know how. I do believe there has to be police reform. I do think it needs to be rooted from ground up. When will that happen? How will that happen? I don't know exactly. I've asked myself this a million times. But all I know, it has to happen, and it will happen.
Yeah.
We just have to, I just encourage all of my friends that are, yes, Black, but all the non-Black friends, white people, Asian, etc., to be our allies, and they may not have to walk through our shoes, but then at least treat us with the dignity that they would treat their own brother and sister with, and also to speak up for us like they would for their own. also, if you can see a brother, help a brother out, because there has been so many years of disproportional racism, systemic racism that has held us back from the amount of money we make, from how we got ahead, from real estate and more. So
Yeah.
how can we close the gap?
Yeah.
And I would leave it with that.
Yeah, I really like it. I feel like I was sitting there and I was just waiting on them to come on and give the verdict, right? In my heart, I felt like it was going to be guilty, but you never know. You never know until you know, right? And when it did, I thought I was really going to be just jumping up and down for joy, but it was just like, I'm happy, I am. And it's just like, it's sad that he had to lose his life, right? And that doesn't bring him back. But yes, I feel like there's a little bit of change that's happened. I feel like that I know we have a long way to go, but I feel like there's a little step forward that we're getting there. And I just, I'm like you. I have white friends, Mexican. I have all kind of friends, and they're genuine friends, and I love those friends. But I'm like you. If you're really genuine, just like I would come to your rescue, speak up for me. Speak up for me too, because I'm gonna speak up for it, for what's right. I don't care what color you are, right?
Right.
So I feel the same way. And so these unconscious bias where I just didn't know, or you do something like, oh, well, now we're starting to put it out. But I feel like if everybody do their individual parts, we can go even that much further.
Absolutely.
So before we get out of here with this conversation, I want to ask about the career and the business that you're in. Black women especially, have a hard time in the acting or in the entertainment world. And you hear of the more seasoned actresses and actors talk about their experiences from what they had to do to get where they are, right? How they had to fight for it. What
Yeah.
is your experience?
I guess my experiences in entertainment and Hollywood would be that it would be kind of a little rounded, because I feel like in some aspects I was given a lot of opportunity, and I'm very grateful for it. But in some aspects, there is sometimes where you're either too black, or you're too dark, or you're too light, or you don't talk black enough for whatever they're looking for,
So stereotypes.
stereotypes, exactly. But I think that was earlier on. I don't think it's much more of that now. I think early on too, and I guess sometimes now I still experience this, is like not having the right makeup artist or hair person. I come on set and they're like, oh yeah, your hair looks fine. And I'm thinking, I just woke up out of the bed with my hair like this. Like, you ain't gonna wet it, you ain't gonna put no mousse on this, comb this down, something.
Right.
And sometimes I have to be like, what the heck? And I have to be like, actually, no, I need some mousse. Do you have some mousse? And like to be able to say it in a very respectful manner that's not coming off condescending or bad, but to be like honest, like, what the hell,
Yeah.
So I would say that's another thing. And then lastly, I would say it's weird. I feel like just as much as I have Black women that are really supportive of me in this industry, unfortunately, I feel like there is also some Black women that are opposite. And it sounds bad. You don't want to have no Black on Black like stuff, but like there's some girls, like recently I found out a situation because I guess like people didn't think because I'm so young. I guess I've been in LA for 5 years, that I'm doing a whole lot and I've gotten really far in 5 years, that maybe there was some animosity or jealousy that I was totally blind to. But there was some messages about me doing my like little documentary that was a short film, and me getting into festivals that was like a greater deal to someone, and they like told like a group of 8 people, and they were talking about it, and I couldn't believe it.
Oh,
And it kind of shocked me, because I felt like I have so many amazing Black, white, Hispanic, all friends, and especially like my Black girlfriends, because we relate, we understand.
yeah.
And I guess someone I thought that was a friend really wasn't. And I guess that the
Very
whole thing, yeah, I think the biggest thing about this industry is like you can't trust everyone. But I say, if as long as you have the best interest at heart, then you're fine, and leave it at that. You can't imagine that people are gonna treat you right, talk to you nicely, say good things about you, You leave your light on this world and let people sit in the dark if they choose to be in the dark.
It's choice. It's a choice. I was
Yeah.
talking to another, I had an interview with a lady. She was a director, producer, Black lady, doing really well for herself. And what stuck with me in that interview, we kind of talked about this as well, is she said, she's been hurt and burned in the business. And she just said, I thought that everybody was like me, or, was genuine like me and had integrity like me, but it's not true. And she said what it really stuck to me is that she said, and it made her sad because she want to help people, and it's sad that she's got to be guarded with helping people because she's been hurt before, and she's been done wrong in the business before. And that's sad because, like, for me, I'm so happy for you, Carrie. I'm happy for anybody that
Thank
makes
you,
it.
and me too,
And I
right?
don't care if you were only did it for 5 years or 15 years, you did it. And thank you, God. You know what I'm saying? And if we have more people like that, but I think you got good people around you, your team, and you have your mom raised you well. Your kudos to your mother,
Thank you.
because you show it. And I don't care what set you on. I don't care if you're Clubhouse. I don't care if you're on IG. I don't care where you are. You just this happy spirit and you're respectful. And I'm like, good to you, mom. So, your mother did well with you. So kudos to you. Tell the people where they can find you, Carrie, if they're trying to reach you on all your social media sites.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. If you guys want to follow me on social media, you can check me out at Carrie Bernans, which is CarrieBernans on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, also www.carriebernans.com, Clubhouse, all the good places.
Yeah.
And thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Well, thank you for being with us. You guys, go out and find Carrie. If it's nothing but hit like on all of her social media sites, but follow her. Very interesting. Has done a lot. We'll be looking for that trailer or whatever you can send me to add with this. But you guys can find her information at the bottom of this interview. Carrie, thank you so much. God bless you. I wish you the best. And I'm going to watch you as you rise to the top, to your next levels. So God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too, love. Bye.